The experts.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Ask the Experts radio show, proudly sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law, LLC. Sit back for the next half hour as host Steve-O interviews top experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Steve-O offers such educational topics as community association law, family law, chiropractic care, employment law, healthcare law, and public insurance adjusting. Interviews by top experts in their field. And now, here's your host, Steve-O.
Hey, I don't know whether you say good evening or hello at 6 o'clock at night. The sun's still out, but let's go with good evening. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where we bring you the top experts in the fields of health, legal, financial, and home improvement. This has been an incredible week. We have gotten, I don't know why, maybe, I have no idea. Here I am getting ready to answer you. We got more emails this week, and one of the things I want to share with you is next month, Tina Lewert, who's been with us for 6 years now, is coming back. She had a big trial that she was spending all of her time with. Attorney Tina Lewert is coming back next week. She's already signed up for the next year, and you have been asking for us. Tonight, hey, listen, you know what's right around the corner. Hurricane season. I just heard today that this could be a bad season, and it has to do with El Nino. See, I can speak Spanish. El Nino. Anyway, we got to have someone who knows about hurricanes, knows about floods, knows about water damage. Let me introduce you to our property damage claims attorney, Attorney Chad Robinson. Good evening, Chad.
Good evening. Thanks again for having me.
You look different. Did you get a haircut, or do you normally wear a hat?
I was going for the summer look.
Oh,
yeah.
Looks good. No, it looks good. I just noticed something was different. Chad, tell everybody about your firm.
Thanks again, Steve. So my firm handles insurance claims that were wrongfully denied or underpaid in the entire state of Florida. We go all 67 counties, all the way from the Panhandle, all the way down to Monroe County. Very well versed in all those counties as well. And we help policyholders get what is rightfully theirs, what they deserve, the compensation that they deserve from the insurance companies who are wrongfully denying these claims, and getting them the maximum amount of recovery that they deserve to put their lives back together, to put their kitchens back together, their roofs on, and things like that. And I always like to emphasize, we are doing this, you hear in the news so much, but my goal is to make sure that if you have a legitimate claim, I am here for you to help you get what is rightfully yours.
We have a lot of I guess public adjusters, attorneys that handle property damage claims across the country, because we're in a lot of different markets. I got to tell you, if I had my own personal would be to have an attorney like yourself. Because and I'm not saying claims adjusters aren't good at what they do, but if I'm going up against Goliath, and that's who the insurance companies are, is like Goliath, I want to start off, hey, this is my attorney. Rather than, if we don't get what we want, we'll go to court and we'll bring an attorney in. I would think, if I have an attorney starting off, because I don't feel like it's fair that they're not offering me enough money. I want to go with the attorney. Now, I know you don't quite agree with that.
No, look, I think that it's up to the personal preference of that individual, whatever they feel comfortable with. The reason why the public insurance adjuster statute was created after Hurricane Andrew was to help homeowners get what is rightfully theirs and help with that assistance without the need of an attorney. That's one of the main thrusts of it. So if it's all up to the actual homeowner, business owner. There's many great public insurance adjusters that do a really good job, and it's whatever the actual person feels most comfortable with. I'm always available for consultation, so it's not necessarily something that if I need to get involved immediately or down the road. Sometimes it is too early, truthfully speaking, for an attorney to get involved. And I like the fact of making sure that we can explore all actual options before going into a lawsuit, because that really should be the last resort. That should really be something that is considered as, plan Z.
Okay. Okay. But the insurance company's job is to pay the least amount possible. Is that right?
The old adage from insurance attorneys on both sides is that the insurance companies love to delay, deny, and defend, or deny, delay, and defend. And that is the old adage, and it's a cliche, and the adage for a reason is that it is beneficial to the insurance company to hold on to as much money as possible. These are for-profit corporations, so it is very important for publicly traded, like Universal in Florida is publicly traded, and they have a duty to their shareholders. So yes, that is a consideration for sure.
Trad told me in our last show that if you'd like, he said, I can give people things to do in case there is a hurricane and how to prepare, which I thought that was really great. But tonight on my way over, I got a text from a listener who said they love your show. She is a homeowner. Her next door neighbor has a tree that goes into her yard. She's very concerned if there's a hurricane, it could fall on her roof and damage her roof. What can she do?
So that's a really great question. It's a little outside the purview of the insurance world based upon the law that has been decided, and I'll tell you why. There was a case that's been decided a while ago that said that basically if the tree is on your side of the fence, you can cut off, as the homeowner, as much of the tree that's over on your side of the fence. You can't uproot the tree and move it,
right,
but you can trim the tree, and you have a duty to do that as the owner. You have a duty to maintain your property as the homeowner. So if the other person, the neighbor, is not responding to your request to, hey, trim your tree, then you, as the homeowner that has the tree impeding on it, should cut it down. Not cut it down completely, but just basically draw the boundary. And obviously, I'm on radio, so you can't hear me. You can't see me, but I'm basically motioning for the line to be down the boundaries between the two land masses, or land parcels rather. So and then during a hurricane, obviously you're not going to be able to control where debris hits. So the most important thing you can do is, before a hurricane, trim those trees, trim the bushes, anything that can become some type of flying debris during a storm. And we're entering the worst part of hurricane season. After August 1st is the worst part of hurricane season, and thankfully July was very quiet. But
right, but they're saying it's going to get. They don't ever know where it's going to hit, but they're saying that this season could be one of the worst hurricane seasons we've had in a long time. We just don't know where and how many.
Yeah, I mean, God willing, it won't be, because that's always a terrible circumstance, and I'm still dealing with individuals that were horribly affected in the Panhandle by Hurricane Sally back in 2020. So you certainly don't want to see that happen. But the best thing about Floridians, and I've said this time and time again on your show, is that we know how to handle hurricanes, and so it's very important that you heed that warning before a hurricane. Like I said last time, take pictures of everything, all the rooms in the house. But the exterior, which you pointed out, Steve, is very important as well. Trim those trees, take the bushes down to a lower size, if you will, and make sure that all the debris, the patio furniture, things like that are removed, so that if a hurricane does come, it's not going to ruin your roof. It's not going to do any of those things. But I think that's a really good question.
Now I really got a question for you. So one of our listeners has a property dispute. Their neighbor who he's in dispute with is also an attorney. He is claiming that part of her property is actually his. Here's where you come in. On his own, he went and dug up all the bushes that remember, this has not gone before a judge or anything. He went in and just dug up all the bushes, ruined the plumbing because he's got a pool. And these were like expensive trees and bushes. He just dug them all up. Can he go to the insurance company and put a claim on that?
So, the famous attorney answer is it depends. It depends on specifically the policy language. Some policy languages don't cover landscaping and things of that nature. So it may not benefit the homeowner who has that issue to go against their insurance company. It may benefit them more to go possibly against the homeowner who did things to their property without asking them. If by chance the ensuing loss, so if they did ruin the plumbing that you say, and that it had an effect on the actual property, it caused damage to the property, that could be a potential claim. The issue comes in where the actual break in the pipe or the damage occurred. If it was considered quote unquote outside the residence, then it may not be covered, versus inside the residence. And then you have a long determination as to what is considered outside the residence and what is considered inside the residence. So those are a lot of things to consider, which is why as soon as you think you have a potential issue, you should consult a claims professional such as myself to let you know the circumstances, to answer those questions, because those are like law school questions, right, that you have to basically put in everything you know and synthesize it and come out with some type of recommendation.
Chad, I have a lot of senior citizens that are really afraid. They're afraid because there's a lot of homeowner insurance companies in Florida that are going out of business. And the ones that are remaining are going to up their rates because there's not going to be a lot of companies to choose from. Is that correct?
Homeowner rates have gone up repeatedly for many years, based upon the fact that there were storms, catastrophic storms, additional claims that have come through, and depending upon what newspaper article you read, there's a whole bunch of other reasons that people like to attribute to the rate rises. I think it has to do with some actuarial tables and the insurance companies not analyzing the risk in the best way possible. What I can tell you is that these types of situations are cyclical. If you look back in time, you look at Hurricane Wilma and Katrina in 2005 to 2008, we unfortunately had some insurance companies that went under during that time. And then the insurance companies, quote unquote, enjoyed a long period of time, and thankfully so, without a storm, right? Until Hurricane Irma in 2017. And so a lot of insurance companies came back. There were things called takeout policies where Citizens, because Citizens just passed a milestone of 1 million policies, there were other insurance companies that would come and basically take out the policies from Citizens and make them their own. And that's how we got more insurance companies through this time period. I'm hopeful that that will happen again. We have to, quote unquote, weather the storm while these insurance companies figure out what they need to do, the legislature figure out what they need to do. But we have to focus on the fact that the actions taken so far have not been in the best interest of the consumer.
Well, I got to tell you, 30 years ago, there was a little hurricane called Andrew. Now, I was still in my mother's womb at the time, so I didn't have to realize it at all. But it's been 30 years since Andrew.
Yeah, in 6 days, it'll be 30 years exactly, August 24th. And so, and that's really, that's really when Floridians learned how to go through hurricanes. And ever since then, we've started to try to improve. I mean, before Hurricane Andrew, everyone thought that you put masking tape on the windows. And then what we learned is all you get is little shards of glass with masking tape all over the place.
I don't mean to laugh, but you're right.
No, we've learned a lot. And as a community, we just got to stick together, make sure that the marketplace is driven by the needs of the consumer and not the protection of the big companies.
We're going to go to break, but I want to tell people this is so important right now. So everything's fine right now. There's no weather problems, but that can change. And the purpose of this show, this is not an info commercial show. We bring in these experts to educate you so that if there ever, for example, if there ever is an emergency, you don't have to go see who's got the nicest website and hire them. We bring you in the top people. And I'm going to give you Chad's number. You have to write this down because I have had so many friends, especially in Texas on the Gulf, who they didn't have good people representing them. They didn't know what their policy said. So I'm actually going to ask Attorney Robinson to give us his number, not once, but twice. I want you to write this down. We're going to be coming back after break, but Chad, give everybody your phone number.
Yeah, thank you. It's 786-519-2423. That's 786-519-2423.
Very important that you put that away. You give it to your relatives, your friends. And I'm not saying you're going to have a problem with the insurance company, but in case you do, I got to tell you, they make the biggest difference. You just got to find someone who knows the business, who you can trust. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we have more with Attorney Chad Robinson.
Do you have a property damage claim that's reached a dead end with your insurance company? Has your business suffered and your insurance won't pay? The right attorney to handle your claim is Attorney Chad J. Robinson, Esquire, who will help you get the money you deserve. Attorney Chad J. Robinson, your damage lawyer, has the professional experience and wealth of resources needed to deal with your home or business insurance or commercial insurance claims. No matter how small or large the amount of loss or damage may be, reach out to the experienced attorney, Chad Robinson, to find out how he can provide legal assistance to help you recover and get your life back on track. Your damage lawyer has years of experience dealing with insurance companies in Florida and throughout the country. Your damage lawyer is a law firm that is devoted to both corporate and individual policyholders in the state of Florida. Our goal is to make sure that these policyholders have the best possible representation on their side when dealing with their insurance company. When you need a personal injury lawyer, an insurance lawyer, or a business lawyer, you need Chad J. Robinson, PLLC. Contact his law firm by calling 561-564-0233 and schedule a free legal consultation. They are here for you.
We are back now with more of the Ask the Experts radio show, proudly sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law LLC, covering South Florida.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. We're with you every Thursday from 6 to 7. That's drive time. And I got to tell you, I want to thank everybody. Our numbers keep going up every week. And listen, I know there's a lot of stations you can listen to, but we love that you listen to Ask the Experts. Tonight we're talking about, property damage. I mean, it doesn't just have to be a hurricane. It could be leaks. It could be smoke and fire damage. It could be, you could have somebody break into your house. Just had the sweetest lady coming over, bringing me coffee, because I was up late last night watching the Three Stooges. Don't laugh, Chad. But anyway, we have an incredible expert with us, and he also does
I prefer the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Chad also does our Ask the Experts in Tampa. So we're talking about, homeowner policies. And Chad, what would you say is the percentage of clients that come to you that don't really know what their home policy says?
It's overwhelming.
Is it? Okay.
It's overwhelming that these homeowners don't know the special limitations. The most popular, I guess you could say, limitation that we see nowadays is a water limitation of only $10,000, meaning the most common claim for insurance policies for homeowners is a water claim, a pipe leak usually. And most insurance policies now have come up with the number that every claim is worth no more than $10,000. And even if it is, the only amount we're paying is $10,000. So that is a very horrific thing to see when you have a $40,000 or $50,000 loss. You look at your policy and it's only limited to $10,000, which is why it's critical. At the time that you get the policy, you ask the questions to the agent. You ask the questions to people who may know, like a public adjuster or an insurance attorney like myself, and you ask the appropriate questions, like, is there another opportunity for me to get a policy that's not outrageously priced but still give me the coverage that I need? $10,000 nowadays, especially because of inflation and the chain of custody, not the chain of custody. The ability to get
coffee.
Yeah, right. The ability nowadays to get materials and things like that, all the costs have been driven up. So whether or not maybe a couple of years ago the average price for a replacement of a kitchen may have been $10,000, and I think it was actually a little more than $10,000 about 5 years ago. It's jumped, and the insurance companies have not jumped with it. Those sublimits that we call them, where you have $100,000 for the actual repairs of all the property, but then you have a sublimit, which is a limit that takes that $100,000 and reduces it all the way to $10,000. So it's super important. And I hate to break the news when a client comes to me and says, well, I paid State Farm for 35 years. This is how it usually goes. I paid State Farm for 35 years. I don't understand why they're not paying me right now for my claim. Well, I say it doesn't matter that you paid them for 35 years. It matters this year, this incident, what your contract says now.
I got to tell you, show goes by so fast. I've got about 5 messages here, questions that people have. We have another show following this one. Chad, give everybody your phone number.
It's 786-519-2423. I'm available all the time. If anyone needs a consultation, I try to make myself available so that at the very least, even if you don't choose me as a lawyer, you're getting the best possible information.
Unbelievable. Chad, we cannot thank you enough. I can see why you're considered one of the top attorneys in Florida when it comes to property damage claims. Please keep Chad's number close by. I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling this might be the year. I'm not wishing that, and we'll pray to God and hope nothing happens. Chad, thank you so much. And we're going to go to break. Next week is our our association show. If you live in a condo or, HOA, you do not want to miss next week's show. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.